Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Bacho, good morning, Bacho. Mr. Al Wahab Farouk, the name
Yes,
I
good
say.
morning.
Good morning.
Yes,
Yeah,
good
Mr.
morning.
Wahab, wait there. I'm very sorry, sir. Time I'm in where I'm in Okase, and all that convenience. We say, well, now, cancel attend,
No,
you
no,
are
I'm
busy.
okay. No, I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to ask you some few questions. We are talking from Media Police TV, by the way. My name is Kwadwo Bonana. My person can you some questions about Ghana for as a whole, because we know you are one of the international diplomatic consultants for Africans, especially all the world countries. And we know you have been doing a great job for other countries, which they are not even Ghana, or the other countries, but you have been helping them getting independent and a lot of, benefits. So we just want to ask you some few questions if you are, it's concerning our country, Ghana, as a whole. Till I hope so you can help us and get some.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem.
Okay, Till we welcome you again in Canada, and we are very happy, sir, you are in our land, Canada. Here, we thank God, sir.
No
God
problem.
bless you. Yeah.
You're most welcome.
Okay.
Most welcome.
So, Mr. Wahab, the main question, some few questions, we person Busa or not, to say, you get it along now. The main question, yeah, concern, pan, say, Ghana Constitution, since 1992, now, we drafted here. But say
Yes.
all the other presidents don't be NDC or MPP. If they are doing campaign, sometimes they tell us that they will change the constitution. But when they come to power now, nobody do it. Say NDC about power several times. Wɔn ntoma asesa no MPP nso na n'adomo nso aba power wɔn kan sɛ wɔn ba wɔn bɛsesa no wɔn nso ba obi ntoma asesa no nti ayɛ adeɛ bi a we don't know say how say when do you think say this constitution can be upgraded because we all know say they have to upgrade it and change some things inside. Truth is say what can happen bɛma yɛtumi nya saa constitution to be changed.
Okay, first of all, my main chair on the chief. It's quite unfortunate that no arrangements in case you share in persons. At least you would have had a video or let me call it a live recordings or a live video with me. Then yes, I interviewed. Not that was standing ever happen. Just let me give you that assurances in very short time. Back to your question, Ghana Constitution. We are talking about review. Yes, indeed. Constitution is long overdue for its being reviewed. I check because a person like me, I had a direct interaction with His Excellency, the late President Rawlings, a year before he passed on, and he was very open about it. So Constitution, so Kase as a president as of 1992, which is the Constitution that ushered Ghana into the Fourth Republic. Okazu reading it was a lie. He said it. He maintained it. What he did say was that Obia or trusted Constitution into its review and also read it all over. Now onka say okay. Emma signing was the late DF Anan. I'm quoting him verbatim and what he said. He says, among the people and the government team, he trusted Mr. DF Anan more than any other person. And that is a DF Anan so can almost years our constitution. And when he instructed and advised, said, Obetimi Ayeden, Obetimi Aye, Obetimi review, Obetimi endorse the constitution. He validly went ahead to sign. But indeed, he knew, sir, that there were problems with the constitution later now, or spending the first term, and one who said the constitution had a lot of problems, but now it's too late. Some of the problems, on one Kasa, and I know, say, tenure of office. Now he had always thought, say, a year, 2 terms, a break, and another return, meaning, say, now his president said, or no, she said, and Kobit Mako. Now after 2 terms, now a break, a third government, a third person bar, or no bit Masaba the third one. That one he said he didn't know. But even if you look at the constitution, the most intriguing aspect of it is that constitution, the valid of 2 terms mandate, whether to come back or not to come back, it has not been stated, unless it be a well-read no. So if you do that, you go through and then analyze and then also probe and prosecute that constitution now. So you be at a point a one bad leader, no person tested that constitution now, it will be a problem. Two, in a scenario, so the first time in the Ghana history, maybe say President Mahama or Sape Asaba back, assuming. Is it one term and he cannot? Unless he can go 2 terms. The constitution strictly only talks about, say, 2 terms, consecutive terms. So if it is 2 consecutive terms, what happened next? In all these things, we have accepted it as standard. Norm say, it is not the case. But the Bunyam Empire said, that kind of a leadership, what tries to be power drunk, as in the case of other countries, Cote d'Ivoire, what are taking advantage of the same lapses in their constitution, what it was the same thing Alpha Conde of Guinea, or called 2 terms, that sealing point, it didn't seal. And cinema almost to me a day, almost to me a day. Or said to me, Quokoteta now winning election Dumbuya Ekokoye, your friend is saying, Kuno. Several instances, Macky Sall of Senegal, he has tried Abra Wani Usman Sorunku, Nasiano, or third mandates, because that lapses, that gap, it talks about 2 terms, it doesn't talk about no return, and that is predominantly Now, in terms of why they don't want to change the constitution, even though they speak and talk about it, it's very simple. Simple thing is that one salient point is the diplomatic immunity or the immunity in the constitution. So President will be there. None the ministers some money. Oma disika. President Tinemudi on court or cover after 20 years, even indefinite. At the time, Rebecca said, Rawlings input, no one go through military regime for 19 years, 11 years or so, and into no peer protection, and to the community too. But now with free government, the person who have the chance to change that immunity, a man to me bind the president, and he says, oh, your president now take a bad decision. Now ministers endorse a bad decision, you could also be called. So your president now who are bisu office in terms of money or budget. The office of the president budget now hang on the neck of Ghanaians, on the neck of Ghanaians. So what be so and none of them. Now we're talking about the international contracts. The Ghana system of international contracts, it does not end only on the chief executive or the ministers. Some of the contracts go to the authorization of the president. And I'm asking, so then the copper say Obi, President Tibi Ebai. Now, what Timmy, there's less international contract of $50 billion. No minister can sign that without authorization from the presidency. And to the reverse entry, they say, a best starting our ministry, a certain accounting officer being a review, now I am the budget, a certain director of finance or ministry hall, a Beko chief director hall, a Beko deputy minister hall, and Sanako minister. Minister, we are. Or very fair contract, every amount your friend is saying, maybe actually general department for advice. Actually, general advice here, normally a council of state. That council of state advice, council of state advice you are, they are presidency. Such a contract you can go out, but even before the presidency, a parliamentary subcommittee of that particular ministry. I'm also going to approve our parliament. I've trained back for the president final signature. No, so okay, it's me call. Now call accountants general department. No, I could be not auditor general department. No, I could be we are and Sanako Ministry of Finance, the paymaster. No, so I acquire certifications. Only so we Ministry of Foreign Affairs, your friend is saying finance. We are no, they are back. Accountant general department. No, may issue blue check. Bank of Ghana. Look at the processes that it goes through. So you can tell, you said the president had been part and parcel of the so-called bad deal. It turned out to be your friend is saying what's the name? I've even forgotten. I said causing financial harm or causing financial distance to the nation. The president was involved. But after, see, I changed government, say in the case of NDC, the changing government, MPP by no, Chase. Who are the people? The chief executive officer and the ministry. No, Chase, the minister maybe who was involved. Now, more parliament, more approval here, you may feel. Now, your friend is a council of state, you may feel. President no authorize here in the film. Accountant General Department will try your uniform. Auditor General Department or checking all the checks and balances in your uniform. Me, I say you, Minister of Finance, your uniform. Bank of Ghana Governor, also so I want to check. I also to reject your uniform. Oh, me, uniform. Now, Becca, one chief executive officer on any other court. So that constitution is very bad. So every president to be so initiated a bad move. My country, no. None of these international contracts, especially the road, bridges, school projects, are in millions of dollars, and the presidents of the republics are involved. And then on there's free power, and you been the Lula of Brazil. How many of these contracts, international contracts, are maybe the end, not physically, nobody say the president approved before it took place. So Ministry of Communication, Madam Eslausu, in a case of scenario, because our government, Wakosa contract be millions of dollars. It is not true. So, ministry don't come to my idea. No, there's a flaw. There's a seal. Say beyond SYZ amount. Ministry in this budget, Sikanim Krano, I saw him authorizing payment. It has to go through here and go through there, And before some minister said, only the file signatory of the sector, it does not mean say approval did not come from the presidency. It does not mean say the approval did not. The minister is a worker for the presidency, or a sector minister for the presidency, or a cabinet minister, part of the government. It one person was sorry, so a consigned contract of $25 million, $30 million, $101 billion. Abra President Ninya, that constitution, it is long overdue to be changed or to be reviewed. And here one. Now, the law that protects state officials as against the ordinary Ghanaians is part of our constitution. So in the case of MPs, America, you can't say you are a congressman and you cannot be brought before court because because Almighty President Clinton, undoubtedly one of the best United States president ever lived, he was held, he was put before the court, before the Congress over Monica Lewinsky's issue. It wouldn't happen in Ghana. And several countries of the world, including the United Kingdom, including Germany, Almighty Helmut Kohl, who had been and was one of the most powerful German councillors, a friend is a Bundeskanzler, the Prime Minister, he was put before court. Berlusconi, he was put before court. Romano Prodi, he was put before court. And to some extent, some of them, in the case of even Berlusconi, he was a certain president of Italy, but a prime minister. I accuse you, say, sleeping with a young girl and I said, dating with a prostitute. Sorry, but that is the reality. Do we have that in our constitution? No. In the president, they don't care. The reason is that when you're mistaken, it is on the neck of the Kenyan, you and I. The kind of minister, it's on the neck of you and I. Now, it's so. And then even you look at the constitution from the point, say, the minister be crowned or yet involved. For whichever reason, let's say the law takes effect, they are the local prisoner. Tell me which one of them has served the sentence to the fullest. Tell me one. Yaman is 6 years, we try 6 years. Yaman is 6 years, and the longest serving time is 2 years. Now the presidency, I'm man immunity, and that's what man clemens say. Because of a health issue, we try only 2-3 months, and they are can obey the Kolebu. They are can obey the Kolebu. But a woman who has only, your friend say, why indebted, and I say, what problem with only, how do we call it, 500 Ghana cedis serve a jail sentence of 6 years. Which constitution talks that? Constitution is the Bible of the country, Ghana. And all these things are involved. All these things are involved. We are looking at the benefits that the Ghanaian, like any other person, will benefit. We are looking at also the lapses, the liabilities that all of us suffer. Why would some of the people who called Sawama, they were about 7 for 2-year sentence because why they when tomatoes, go there and find all these cases out of tomatoes, default payment of 200 Ghana cedis or 2 years. But will be $1 billion or your father creating me court in the case of many of them. In the case of many of them, you can say even today, what is the cause? What does the Constitution tell us? I'm making a reference of Madam Cecilia Abnada past case. They tell us to keep our money in the bank. They tell us to do X, Y, Z. I'm not saying because of many people, I'm using it as a test case scenario. But the woman was able to go to police station and report of a theft of $1 million US. Even if it is more, it stands in the balance, nobody knows. Several millions of cedis, which is not accounted. How is it possible? So such a person reported, if it was in America, she would have been the first person behind the bar. If it was in the case of Canada, they will not listen to even the theft case. They will listen to her being behind bar and question where the money came from. Look at the arguments that are flying all over. So we have to be very careful, sir. The executive and the good number of the country officials, state officials, the highest level of officialdom, and the second level of officialdom, all of them satisfied, all of them enjoy the non-arrest or non-probing of their crimes. It is all part of the weaknesses in the Constitution. Now let's take the Constitution aside. Here's the Constitution that governs even the parliamentarians. How come by say parliamentarians cannot have a part of the Constitution that would allow them even to pull the president for certain questions and certain decisions? And I'm referring the case of even the abuse of the presidential household protocol funds. I will use you on the office, call it the chief of staff budget. Parliament not for any of the leaders. The royalties money that are given to the president to spend free, presidential household for a year expenditure, and I said interest or the 2 coin. How do we still allow, say, Ghana president Ikotogo back to back or Kwasaba overland ultimately $600,000 US call or by no country? Meanwhile, Togo the host to when to a hotel bill. How can Ghana ambassador, Ghana president, echo United Nations Assembly General, or no call the entourage of 120 people who be a ticket business class, those who earns, who qualifies, who be a premium economy, those who qualifies, Oma budget to hotel. Hotels, they share the money for the people. They take an expensive hotel and share the money for their people to benefit. FPP benefited, NDC is benefiting, and all of them benefited. So they don't see why they should change that into in the Constitution. So we call UN General Assembly, United Kingdom, and the Prime Minister, Obi 8. No more than 6, no more than 8. Germany did not a group of more than 6. Australia, they group no more than 6. Canadian government goes into the group no more than 4. Japanese go up to a group more than 4. Ghana goes with entourage of 120 people, out of which is only the president who will have the chance to talk or even to participate, not to talk. Which of the Constitution has taken care of these things? Which of the Constitution has taken care of that? So, let me just end up here. I'm boarding my aircraft. I'll call you and then we continue for the conversation. Thanks a lot. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wahab, and good luck and safe journey. Yeah, TF4, we have chance to talk to Mr. Al Wahab, our international diplomatic consultant. This man, he's not all that ordinary person as people may think. This man is one of the best and one of the unique people in the whole world, especially for Africans, because he has been doing a lot of jobs. He has been helping all the other African countries who were struggling for independence. He has been helping them to achieve this independence. He has been helping a lot of other nations who we may not think about them, say they are part of us. Some are islands. He has been helping all these islands, and they are all getting their independence. This man is a fighter. He has equivalency like Kofi Annan, the late Kofi Annan, but he's just different level. And he has been doing great for Africa as a whole. And Ghana has to be proud that we have a son like that. We have a man from Ghana who has been doing this great job for all over the world. And we should keep on praying for this man, Ghanaians as a whole. We should pray for him because what he has, he can help us. Right now, you can hear what he talked to us about the Constitution. He spoke to the late J.J. Rawlings before he passed away, and he spoke to him about the Constitution. And look what Rawlings told him. According to Mr. Wahab, Rawlings told him, say, Onwa Rawlings no cramp on Constitution no, and ya already I wouldn't say the AC na bibisa. Na Justice Annan and omo drafty bibia. And to no Rawlings in the no or trust Justice Annan no. And to Justice Annan no can say on sign no my bibia no. When that time when read and hear what is inside the Constitution and or sign because when say Justice Annan so no, he was part of his government. And he said, he won't do something to harm their government. And a lot of things to protect their interests. She said, according to Mr. Wahabono, other countries, and I'm saying, loopholes to our constitution, so when a bad leader, then they take advantage. So they are going to use it for their side. Because Obeba, she said, you say, Mama, bit Masabe. So, Nakopon, I do not see a trouble, not say President Obama a co powers. And therefore, the non-person make a question say, we will continue this interview with Mr. Wahab because right now he was on boarding in a plane in a bus, and he will still talk to us eventually when he arrives at New York. And what I want to tell people is that we should be all working hard and pray that Ghana Constitution can be changed. So, and changes is here now, it's like a time bomb, and it will lead the country into war. There's no question about it. I have to tell you the fact. So Ghana for you and change the constitution peacefully, and to kwane di be change. You be call war our country and say it might change. And it is up to us. Say you have peace mind in your peace of mind. You bet me a draft they come out. All the parties in the country, bet me your representatives. I may team a draft constitution. I bet my union who say Nansan Kwan woman a protective economic interest. Obia on ho, NDC ba on ho, MPP ba on ho. Because a favor will be a favor or more leaders, And them say a favor or more leaders, what they are doing is they don't care to change it. But at the end of the same time, according to Mr. Wahabono, there are a lot of loopholes. Obi betima ba be yusu. She says, Jomama ba se si ana near Trabanamana. Obi maka say constitution you drafting and say would dia twaso na 2 times. Now when you am twaso, definitely be back to bit say the another one. And I'm other African countries in the leaders number almost say Messiah transfer be almost say emperor than Tokano. This is what is happening now. And Ghana for Mummy Empire, need Nanya Fire during Koso. Say a bit me for some parliamentarians, or one who say a constitution is about time, so meet me a draft for Framaye, or met my amending because just it needs some amendment. Yes, they will throw everything out. Some of the constitution things are good, and the ones which are loopholes not any good, they can amend them. Now, boy, as a nation, na kasi a tour, you fashion home. Now, if everything's all right, it's not like that. It's a time bomb. One day, we will get a new leader who may be greedy and he will use the constitution on his favor, on his side, and people may not allow it. And that will bring the war, internal fight in the country. And to me, Mamikasa and Kwechi baby. We will still have some conversation with Mr. Wahab. And when we get him, we will continue from there. Thank you very much for your time and for listening. Mukasa Free Media Police, this is Kwadwo Bona, Adanse Bona. Thank you very much. May God bless everybody. May God bless Ghana as a whole and Africa. Thank you. Bye.